True Talk.
Hi guys, Drew here, your Million G Gamer. Welcome to an episode of True Talk. First of all, a little bit of housekeeping. Apologies for lack of content creation on the YouTube channel. We are in the winter months at the UK here, and the winter months always plays havoc with my health conditions. So finding time to do any meaningful content creation or editing especially is very, very difficult. Which leads on to this video. This video, because of that, is going to be a bit rough and ready. There's probably going to be very, very minimal, if at all, any edits to it. And I'm going to try and get to the point as quickly as possible. So without further ado, what the hell's been going on there? Well, I'm going to use the word influencers for a start. Influencers are going to refer to like content creators on YouTube. It's going to refer to Twitch streamers, Mixer streamers, or traditional website reviewers, and even people who post reviews on True Achievements. So basically, influencers across the world have been finding that some of the games that they've been provided with to provide a service to the publisher or developer have stopped working. It seems that the licenses to these games have actually been revoked, so you can't play them anymore. So whether this is deliberate or not, the fault does seem to lie at Microsoft's door, and it needs addressing straight away. Otherwise, the ecosystem that is formed here, especially between influencers and game studios, especially as smaller the game studio gets, is going to be irreparably harmed. So just explain to you what's happening. Now, with the creation of the Idea Xbox scheme, sometimes we get 20 plus games coming out on the Xbox at a time. Now, all these games are obviously vying for attention, so how do they get this attention? It's obviously through advertising. Now, advertising is the lifeblood of any product. You see advertising everywhere you go, whether it be on television, on your tablets, your phones, on the radio. You drive to work, it's on billboards, open a magazine, it's there in your face, newspapers, hell, it's even on food packaging. It's absolutely everywhere. Obviously, this costs money. Now, the smaller the game studio gets, which a lot of these Idea Xbox studios are very small, it becomes more difficult to advertise your game because you haven't got the advertising budget. You can't advertise by traditional means. That's reserved for the big boys, isn't it? The Call of Duties and the FIFA games, stuff like that, you know, Battlefield, Red Dead Redemption, you know, they can afford the TV advertising. These small companies can't. So who they turn to? Well, they turn to influencers. So as influencers, they provide a very, very important service to these guys. We get their game out there, we get coverage out there, coverage that the mainstream media will not generally cover. When was the last time you found IGN covering an Artifacts Monday game? When was the last time IGN covered a Sometimes You game? It doesn't happen, does it? It doesn't happen. They're more concerned on the Call of Duties, the Battlefields, the Red Dead Redemptions, the FIFAs. That's their niche. This is our niche. We cover the games that a lot of people won't know about if it wasn't for us. So just to give you a little bit of history of what generally has been happening, it seems to be related to these things called pre-order unlock codes. Now, what that code is supposed to do, it's supposed to, if you pre-download a game on the coming soon section of the store, it's got a timestamp on it, which means you can't play it until that date. The pre-order unlock code is supposed to remove that timestamp, and in fact it does. But what was discovered was that if you didn't actually download the base game, first of all, and you just put the pre-order unlock code in, then it did in fact download the full product regardless. A lot of the time, you only get this pre-order unlock code through from the developer or publisher, so that's the only code you've got to redeem. So obviously, influencers have been redeeming these codes in good faith, been providing the service they've been asked to do, whether it be in review, stream, whatever, and now, it can be years later, the code has been revoked, the code will no longer work. Now, some people are saying, well, you got the product for free, you got this game for free, so you haven't lost anything. That's not actually the case, because the code was provided in lieu of payment for providing a service. Now, that service gets provided, and then that payment has been withdrew. That's what the situation is here. So you didn't get the games for free. If you'd got the game for free and you sat on it and, you know, there was no agreement in place. I mean, a lot of people don't realise when you get these codes through, there's usually a disclaimer bit at the bottom of the email saying, you know, like, you provided this code for evaluation purposes, blah 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 blah. If you're in breach of these terms, then they may contact Microsoft, and Microsoft may revoke your account. You know, the whole account. You know, because you're in breach of this agreement. So it's not like you get a code for free and then do jack shit with it. Because if you don't do jack shit with it, if you do jack shit with it, your name will be mud. People will call onto it. Your name will get spread around, and you may even lose your game tag. So, so it's not worth. So you don't get the games for free. You get the games for providing a service. And that service, obviously depending on the creator, can vary in the amount of time that's invested. I mean, for me personally, sometimes I spend 15 hours on a review, which is like 2 days' work over the course of it. And like I said, the payment, if your payment gets revoked after 2 days' work of anything, then you'd be a bit peed off, wouldn't you? If you think about it. Now, why is this an important thing? The games losses are bad for a start, but why is this a bigger thing in general? Because the ecosystem is going to get damaged here, because the small developers rely on advertising. With 20 games drop on a day, people need to know what these games are. They're not going to find that on IGN. They're not going to find that on Kotaku or any other website that you wanna go to. They're not interested in these games. Influencers are, streamers are, content creators are. That's where you turn. People turn to YouTube, people turn to Twitch, people turn to Mixer to have a look what these games are. Are they watching somebody enjoy the game? Are they watching people, wade through a load of rubbish? Do you know what I mean? And then it helps them make an informed decision. So the developers rely on us. But the problem is, the faith in providing this work is damaged now, because payments have been withdrew. If you get a code through, are you going to want to put that 15 hours in? I mean, I played a game recently on stream for 14 nights consecutively. That's kind of like above and beyond what I was asked to do, fair enough. But even so, I provided this game with over, how many hours that would it be? It'd be like 14 times 4. That's well over 50, 60 hours, something like that, off the top of my head. I can't do math on the spot. But luckily, this wasn't one that was affected, because it was a fully fledged code, this one. But if that was been a pre-order code, that would have been 60 hours of coverage that I provided as part of the agreement. Fair enough, it was above and beyond by my own choice, but even so, still 60 hours of coverage provided that had just been whipped away, gone. Do you know what I mean? Nothing to show for it. And it can't carry on like this. Now, it seems that from users raising the issue with Microsoft support, obviously you're dealing with Microsoft support here, rumours going around that it's due to do with a migration server or something, server migration or movement of accounts to one server farm or another or something to that effect. Whether that's the case or not, I don't know. I don't particularly care, to be honest with you. The fact is, this shouldn't be happening. It shouldn't be happening at all. End of the day, the end user, us, the influencer, we've provided the work we've been contracted to do, whether it be in review, stream, whatever. And now we're the one losing out. End of the day, Microsoft get paid by the developer publisher for these promotional codes, so they've got their money. The developer publisher have got their money because they've been provided with the coverage at the time the game came out, which would have generated sales for them. So those sales are safe. No one's going to take those sales off them anymore. Plus the videos are still out there for people to look at. The coverage is still out there for people to look at. So they've been paid, and end of the day, the person at the end, us, who all we've done is redeem a code, have now lost the payment, lost the game. One other innocent party that's going to be affected with this as well is you don't realise a lot of streamers and influencers and YouTubers and content creators do regular giveaways, and they also host charity streams or charity events to raise funds and money, and games are given away as an incentive to donate to these good causes. Now, sometimes these codes provided by the developers and publishers are again these pre-order codes. So then these fantastic patrons who've donated to the charity, their prizes will start working as well. And again, through no fault of their own, and they've done fantastically to donate to get the prize awarded in the first place. So you have to think of that aspect of it as well. Now, look, I know some people aren't going to have any sympathy with this and everything, but when you go onto the store and you think, what the hell's that game? It could be the best game ever made. How do you think people learned about Minecraft? How do you think people learned about PUBG and things? Through people making videos, through people making content. That's how it works. And now I know a lot of people are saying, that's it, I'm done. Do you know what I mean? When you lose, some people have lost hundreds and hundreds of games, half their collection, and it's not on, it's not right. So I would ask everybody to share this video. I would ask everybody, if you're on Twitter, to hashtag IdeaXbox in there, or even at IdeaXbox, at Microsoft in there. Hell, at whoever you feel will have an impact on this, because obviously dealing with Microsoft support, you generally are getting. I don't think they fully understand the situation, to be honest with you. I don't know. I've not attempted to contact them myself as of yet. I am going to be doing that in the near future, but I got a funny feeling it'll be kind of, they won't understand what the situation actually is, so they will be giving answers that aren't really going to be very helpful. I think it needs to get somehow escalated to somebody who kind of knows what the hell's going on to give us a definitive answer on this, because at the end of the day, like I say, where we've done nothing but redeem a code and adhered to the regulations that was put down to us in the email when this code was supplied. We provided the service, and now the payment for service has been taken back, and it's just, it's just quite a lot. I know a lot of people are just done with it. They're not happy. So share it with whoever you can think of. IdeaXbox, Microsoft, the hell, Phil Spencer, Mikey Barr, I don't know. Share it to whoever you feel appropriate, but we need to get word of this around so something gets done, and we try and get this rectified, because it is damaging to the whole ecosystem, really, because content creators are not going to want to bother anymore, because why put like 15 hours of effort into something if you're going to lose it X amount of time down the line there? It's not on, really. It wouldn't happen in any other industry. As again, the gaming industry just seems to run roughshod over everything. I mean, if you got a gardener to build a wall, and then the guy who supplied the bricks to the gardener or whatever came back a few years later and took the wall down, you wouldn't accept it, would you? You would not accept it. That's what's happened here, in effect. It's just not on. It's not on at all. And like I say, this was unedited. This was just rough, ready, and rambling along. So I'll probably repeat myself 100 million times already, but please, this is a serious issue. I know some of you won't have any sympathy whatsoever. That's fair enough. I've tried to explain the situation as best as possible. Like I say, we don't get these games for free. We get these games to provide an important service to these developers and publishers, and without that service, a lot of these developers and publishers, the smaller ones, would not exist anymore and would not be there to make games in future, because their game would have completely bombed and not got the eyes on that they ever deserved or didn't deserve. So yeah, please share this video. This is a very, very important issue to a lot of people. A lot of people you probably watch and enjoy as well, and some of them you don't enjoy, but it is a very important service that we do provide to the games industry here, where whatever you think, that is actually the case. So thanks for watching, guys, and I shall see you on the next video.